All right, Ultimate Nation, my name is Reid Nelson. I'm joined here tonight by Jason Briggs. Sweet 16 is in the books. No close games tonight, but quite a few surprises that we will get to.
Yeah.
No close games that I can remember, at least.
Muskies, Squires.
Yep, we're going to start off with the game of the night. Muskie Squires, about 2 minutes left in the game. Somebody takes a timeout, I'm not sure, but the Muskies are inbounding, so probably the Muskies. Adam Nelson with the steal and the N1. They go up by 2, and they never look back. Here is my interview with Mr. Adam Nelson. All right, UH Nation, I'm here with Adam Nelson of the Squires. Huge steal with about 2 minutes left. You guys were down 1, coming out of a timeout. Take us through that play.
Well, I mean, they were coming in timeout. I didn't think they would actually make that throw, that pass. Like, I was just pressuring them a little bit. I didn't overplay it too much, but they threw it and I took it. And I'm left-handed, so I was on the right side, and it's not the side I like to finish, but I went up with it, and he actually fouled me on my right hand, so I just finished with my left, and yeah, it just worked out.
Huge momentum swing, obviously, took place through that play. So tomorrow night, you guys will get the Rebels. Obviously, a little bit of history there. Take us through maybe your game plan for tomorrow.
I mean, it's the Rebels. We play them tough every time we played them, but we're actually never getting over the top. They always finish strong. So tonight was good for us. We were down at the end. We actually came back, got the lead, and held on to it. That's where we usually fall apart sometimes against the Rebels in the past. So we just got to keep our composure. We know we can play them man to man. We can match up with them pretty well. We just have to match their intensity, which is always the case with the Rebels. So we'll be ready. We're excited.
Thank you, Adam. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
That was Adam Nelson of the Squires. Huge play by him. And like I said, they never looked back. Did you get a chance to watch that game a little bit?
I did. I originally came early to watch Callahan Rebels, but I got sucked in. Muskies looked so much better in the first half, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if Bennett, being a little late and maybe not with it, kind of threw some things off. But how things changed so drastically, I don't know. They were completely out of sync the whole second half, and sure they had the lead, but it was a slow sieve just kind of leaking out, and then Nelly's big play there. I think it was 50-49 at that time, and he hits that and one, and they just never looked back after that.
So they'll actually face off against the Rebels tomorrow night or tonight in Fridley. Okay, so Rebels versus Squires in Fridley. Now, the Rebels, Callahan had the game down to about 7 points. There was a Paul Ferber elbow that put Hoyle to the line. But the Rebels really appeared to be in control for most of the game.
Yeah, I think the lack of depth on Callahan really hurts them, especially when the one sub they have doesn't get to play. And Goody's fine. Kloby goes out. You throw Goody in. There's no reason he shouldn't be playing 10 minutes a half. But otherwise, you're iron 5. And when you got DuPont face guarding and mugging Josh Hoyle the entire game, who's Callahan's probably primary option, you're going to be in an uphill battle. And that they were able to do that. And I think E was still hungover from his 41 points last night, so he didn't have as good a game. First half, I believe Nate Moore was carrying them. But they just didn't have enough. The size of the Rebels is too much, and the just sheer brutality that they inflicted tonight.
So Squires 8 seed, they will face off against the Rebels. We're also doing prediction segments. So who do you have in this game starting tomorrow night?
I have the Rebels by 1 at the buzzer. I believe Carson Cody Hines will hit a 3 at the top of the key.
You think it'll be that close?
I think that's what happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I'm just going to go for – I hope it's I don't care who wins. I just hope it's another good game like that, because if I'm driving to Fridley and not playing, it better be some good games.
Sure. Speaking of a game you were involved in, them takes down the Avengers in a rematch of last season's Final Four. Maher was 1 for 6, 19 turnovers for the Avengers to 2 for them. Now, before we get to your thoughts, Aaron had a chance to speak with Quentin Brown. Here's Quentin.
I'm here with Quentin Brown of them. You guys just beat the defending champions, the Avengers. Right. Seems like come playoff time, you guys are on your game. Kind of speak about the difference between the regular season and the playoffs.
Playoffs is win and go home. Regular season is for teams like the Broncos, whack teams. We're serious about winning, and the Avengers, man, that was revenge, man. We felt like they cheated us with the calls last season, so we just came out with a lot of fire, zipped them up.
So you guys will play the winners of the Huskies and the Broncos. Right. Kind of talk about which of those teams you want, or that doesn't really matter for you?
I'm gonna play for the Huskies, so y'all set that up. Y'all set that up pretty nicely for the second round, but I can't choose that. You can't choose. You know, I'll play my team. I want my team to win tonight, so my team, Huskies.
Talk about two additions. You added Nick Gation,
okay,
and Casey. Kind of talk about what they brought to the team so far.
We added Terry too. Yeah, so big man's brought he's brought kind of what Anthony brought. You know, big man grabbing boards, big body in there, knocking. You know, just grabbing rebounds and playing big down low. And Casey, lights out shooter, and Terry's real hard nosed defender. Get to the basket, all around game for Terry. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That was Quentin Brown.
I disagree with everything he just said.
That was Quentin Brown.
Seen the video. All right.
That was Quentin Brown of them. Let's talk about that game.
When one team wants, it's a cliche, but when one team wants to win and one team just kind of shows up expecting to win, crazy things can happen. The Muskies should have videotaped them's performance on how to properly press a team, because they were just complete ball hawks. They were vultures for that ball, and we never got in a rhythm. And they're fast enough to recover. There's no there's no slouch out there. There's no slow guy out there. So they were taking advantage of Noe. They were taking advantage of Zhao, Trey. We were trying to dribble out of things. We made some horrible defensive decisions where we're pressing up on guys and going for steals and allowing them to have essentially 3-on-2 in the lane, or 2-on-1 in the lane, or 5-on-4 just repeatedly. So we were never able to kind of get out of our funk, and we all knew we were sucking, but no one had the willpower to pull the team in the right direction. So them played just a beautifully executed game. So props to them.
Championship hangover?
There's a little of that. This was our first time playing together, all 8 guys, the entire season. Our rotation was garbage. The one thing I was kind of mentioning in the locker room is them is kind of a unique subbing team, where they will go, and it's not something I recommend, but they will go 10, 12 minutes without adding a single guy to the court from the bench. And when it's 5 guards out there, and Jordan and big guy Nick, I think, Geeson?
Yep, Mr. Geeson.
Are sitting on the bench, there's going to be some matchup problems, because who am I going to guard? Who's Greg going to guard? You know, we had Greg on Julius for a while, and it didn't burn us, but that's not something we want. I mean, Mayer guarding a fast guy. So their kind of unorthodox subbing patterns actually did work in their favor tonight. I wouldn't recommend that in the future. You got to keep your guys fresh, especially if a team's going to push you, unlike the Avengers tonight. But it was a well-executed game plan. They attacked. We couldn't dribble. They took it.
Nobody's had a better 2 weeks than the Huskies. Huskies now take down Broncos after, vaulting themselves probably 6 seeds last week with the 1 win over the Players Club, I believe. Mm-hmm. So the Huskies continue their streak. They beat the Broncos tonight. Any thoughts from that game in particular?
I'm just impressed. Devin and Q basically played the entire game before, and they hop over in the back-to-back, and I thought it would be close, but I thought just the size of the Broncos, that Todd and Rob and Xavier would be able to kind of feast on the complete lack of size the Huskies have. But Huskies had a game plan. They executed well, and the Broncos didn't use their main advantage. So if you don't do that and you're going to get into a running match with a small team that's better at being a running team than you are, you're going to lose.
Rumor is, and I don't think there's much question about this, that Devin and Q will play for them. That's a rumor. I haven't heard anything from them at all. Do the Huskies stand any chance without Devin and Q?
I mean, Kelsey will finally have enough shots, so that's nice. No, you never count a team out. They do have a guy who hasn't played in a few weeks that they could bring. I don't know who that is. I just know they have a guy that would be sick. So if he could play 20 minutes and give each one a 2-minute break in each half. They have talent. Kelsey can light it up. John Price a good player. Jordan's a good player. Todd's a good player. Lamont's a good player. But the lack of offensive firepower, I think, is going to be their undoing. So I would expect a close first half, but them to pull away in the second half.
The only real blowout of the night, I think, was the club beating the Pigeons. Basically, an exact replica of their game about a month ago in Fridley.
Except the Pigeons had all their players.
Except for we had all of our players.
Yeah.
So the game plan going in was to not get into a track meet, and it was a track meet. Right. So the club, love them or hate them.
Hate them. Oh, it wasn't a rhetorical question. I'm sorry.
They looked pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts on this game?
You're the kind of slow team that they're going to beat up on. Plus, you had Chalfont and DuPont and Magnuson all playing a previous game, so you were going to need the best of Izzy, the best of Helmy. Casey was also in a game as well, and the best of Reid Nelson. And apparently, you guys didn't cut it. No, they're just too fast for you. You don't have enough DuPonts to cover Devin and
Money
and
Xavier
and
Jake. Yeah,
right.
They got some players. So they will face off against the Red Devils. Faced off against your Blue Chips. Red Devils shot 53% from 3. Blue Chips 16% from 3.
Yeah.
Not a great night for the Blue Chips from deep.
No, when you get open shots, so I would expect you to make 53%. And when your shots are covered, I'd expect you to make 16. And that's kind of a difference in the game. They scored 49 first half points. The Red Devils, they averaged 49 points a game, and they scored 49 in the first half. I think the key is that Scott Cotterman is gone. And they're like, we don't even need that guy. I know he's GM, but we don't want him. And they're like, we're just going to win a Gold Cup to prove to him that he should just stay in Africa, right?
When I looked up at the score, I was like, that can't be right. But
yeah, I kind of think the scoreboard guy was fat fingering a few times.
I don't think so.
So
Red Devils versus Club, a very intriguing matchup. Young kids versus the older veterans, but the Red Devils have some speed and some athleticism now too. 6 versus a 3. I think the only. Well, no, we'll get to that in a little bit. Who do you have in this game and why?
I'll take the Club, but not by as much as they're expecting. Their Red Devils are smart. I really think that the Blue Chips plan going into this was to run them, and we didn't run them. We didn't run. No, They had 6 players. It was the perfect opportunity for us to just burn up and down the court, and we couldn't do it. The Club cherry-picks so much that I think they actually have the team that can run them, and the sheer speed of the Club is going to be too much. I will like it a little bit more. I'm coming. I don't want to come, but I'm going to be a good sport and watch the stupid games tomorrow. I want to see what the big man does against that team and if he shows up, because he didn't show up tonight, and I think our eyes got a little big like Ant is going to dominate. And then I think Ant and Lamont worked so hard tonight, and they didn't touch the ball. We just didn't give them the ball. So if you have a big advantage like that, and Jeff Stevens is an advantage if he's in the game, they feed the beast, they have a chance, but don't see it.
This will be the first.
Is this the first win for the Club, period?
Well, this will be no, I think the Club won in the playoffs a long time ago when they were probably the Cush Club, but this will be the Club's first test against a Bloomington team, a good Bloomington team. And I think it'll be a very interesting game. To me, it's the game of the night tomorrow night. I'm very excited to watch that game.
Youth versus experience, intelligent basketball versus whatever the Club plays. It's going to be interesting.
All right, last set of games. Big Smash takes down the tired Gorillas. Speaking of a team that didn't look like they wanted to be there, they were very lethargic, if you will. Talk about their attitude maybe going in.
We had 2 straight games on that court of it just didn't seem like one team wanted to be there. The Avengers had 4 tired guys going to the game because Noe, Trey, Kevin, and myself just got done playing. The Gorillas actually had 5, although Chase and Helmy played and Izzy played earlier in the night, so it wasn't quite back-to-back. But Maher and Derek didn't play great in either game. And the Gorillas, they need someone to step up. They don't move the ball enough to where their individual scorers can't. They can't have nights off. So, Pinkett and Chase are not scoring threats on teams that play one-on-one basketball. They need the cutting, the back picks, that kind of stuff. So you're essentially going out there playing one-on-one with two guys that aren't going to help that much on the offensive end. But you don't want to take them out because they're so damn good on defense. So it was interesting, and Derek cramped up, and him and Chris just looked like they had nothing left. But I don't know if it was sheer we're dead tired or we're playing awful, and there's got to be someone here playing better than us, because I think it was a combination of the two.
Bees, UANO played the Bees close for a majority of the game. Bees pull away late. Talk about that game.
Eric Bond's there. Bees gone already.
I don't get it.
Eric Bond didn't play. He's hurt. He's on UANO.
Oh.
They would have won.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. So.
No, I don't know. You had fresh Twan, fresh Mike, right? So you had the advantage. No, you're just better team. A little better.
The Bees are.
Bees are, yeah.
Yeah, not me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, not Reed's Big Smash. It's not Reed's Killer Bees.
I don't play with the
Bees.
Bees.
Season?
Okay, so Big Smash, Bees, rumor, and now these things change. This will change 9 times out of 10.
I'm calling out Mike, Chill City, Franklin. Please play with Big Smash so this is a game, because I know Twan's playing with the Bees.
Yeah, it sounded to me. Bees, it sounded to me like they were both going to play for the Bees, but then it sounded like Mike has moved over to Big Smash for tomorrow night, which I believe is the fairest way to go. And I think it'll be a great game. So, what do you think?
Big Smash is the better team. So if full Big Smash played full Killer Bees, Big Smash is a better team. You're just a little more likely to self-destruct because there are some strong personalities on that squad, which is why I believe you're on the team, just to settle everyone down. Reed's Big Smash.
Maybe.
Because the amount of minutes you played, it can't be for anything you're offering on the court. You had good hands on like a poke away from one of the Gorillas there in the second half. I think they were going in for a rebound, or Chase had it and you poked it away, and you had a good look at a three. But otherwise, they don't let you play too much.
I appreciate the scouting report for other teams wanting to know how to guard me.
They don't let you play too much, and I think that's a damn shame, because you should be playing more than that, especially with two guys back to back. But again, I'm digressing here.
It's by choice.
Big Smash.
It's by choice.
Big Smash is a better team. I just don't know if they're going to be able to stop Twan. Twan knows where the bodies are buried, man.
Yeah, so I actually forgot to preface Adam Kidd. Aaron Wimsatt had a chance to speak with him after the club's dismantling of the Pigeons. So any final thoughts before we get to that interview?
I'm sure it's a very intelligent interview with Adam. Hopefully Adam's wearing his jersey and not that little boy's sweatsuit he borrowed from some 6th grader. You can wear clothes that fit, man. I know you're skinny, but come on.
We'll see you tonight Thursday night in Fridley. Thursday night in Fridley.
And props to them. We underestimated you, and you kicked the shit out of us. So that was a good win.
Thank you, Asian Nation. Here is Adam Kidd.
All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation. I'm here with Adam Kidd, who just made me eat crow. I had the Pigeons winning, if you didn't look at my rankings or my predictions. You guys beat them by 24 points. It wasn't I expected to be a closer game. You guys had played them earlier in the season. They were Iron 5. They were without Will, and I don't know who else they were without, but I expected it to be closer. What was your plan going into the game? And 24 points, how'd you do it?
First of all, you made those predictions. I thought it was Nick from the Barracudas, so I said, okay. But now I know it was you. Our friendship might be gone. But honestly, we just came out here and said we're going to play basketball. We haven't even, when we seen who we was playing, we didn't even say anything. Obviously we hang out, but we haven't even talked about basketball since 2 weeks ago because we haven't played in so long. But we seen it, and then after the first game, everybody said, oh, if Will and Dustin were there, this would happen, that would happen. I said, Will and Dustin are good players, but they're not 30-point I think we beat them by 28 the first time. I was like, they're not worth 28 points. They score and do their thing. So, today we just do what we always do. Intensity, high tempo, getting other teams' heads. I guess I want to say like the Rebels, but the Rebels are obviously up there because they have big man and their team defense is a lot better, but we get under people's skin and people don't like that. So then they start to play frantic, talk to the refs, and we just laugh because they obviously did exactly what we wanted them to do.
So, big addition to your team this year, Devin Hemrick. He's an MVP candidate. Just speak about him and what he has added to your team.
We went to school with Devin. He's a couple years younger than us. He's at the U of M for school. So he always said he wanted to play. He just didn't have time because he was school. He just graduated from the U. So then he's like, Adam, you going to pick me up for next season after last season? I said, I'll talk to people. We technically only had 4 up until week 1. And then I was like, Devin, if you're going to play, come on. And then I called Kavarian, or he called me and asked if we were playing this season. I said, yeah. I'm sorry, Money, as y'all know him. So then we ended up with 6. We tried to add a 7th. A lot of people said they didn't want to play with us. I don't know. I mean, obviously, probably because of the style we play or whatnot. I looked at the people. I said, well, we gave you an opportunity. I mean, our record speaks for itself so far.
So you guys are taking on the winner of the Blue Chips and the Red Devils. Look like it's going to be the Red Devils. Anything going to change for that game, or are you just going to play your style of ball?
We're going to play our style of ball. The Pigeons are kind of like a red. I can see the Pigeons and Red Devils being similar because they have the big guy that's Helmy size. Then they have Trey, which could be Dustin, I guess. That's the leader of the defense. But I mean, as long as we play defense, we're gonna get our looks no matter what. We always get them. If they're bad looks or good looks, we do get our looks. So.
One last question. So you guys were 8-0. The Killer Bees were 8-0. It was a shame you guys didn't play in Fridley. Are you the best Fridley team? Are you the Fridley team to beat?
I mean, I just hope we match up. Honestly, I can see us keeping up with them though. I'm not gonna toot our horns like, oh, we're the best Fridley team because of Killer Bees. We both were 8-0. That's what it is. We didn't play against each other. That's just that. We hang out with those guys. A bunch of the Killer Bees players, they hang out with us. We played. Abby's one of our teammates out here, so we just hope the best for them. Same for us. If we meet up, then so be it, and then we'll figure out from there.
All right, thank you, sir. Great win tonight.